Everyone. We are excited to welcome you to your upcoming orientation or education class. This tips and tricks have been created so that hopefully it's a little bit easier for those of you who aren't super familiar with Zoom. So let's get at it. First, you need to join the class. So you should get an email from us with the information. So you want to kind of look at this middle part here. There are two different ways to join a Zoom class. One of them is to just click on the link, and the other one, if you've done this before and have the app already installed, you can just manually enter the meeting ID and password. So if you do click on the link, it does give you some options as to how to download this. The one on the left is the phone tablet, and then the one on the right is the download now on your computer. Once it's downloaded, you just click join meeting or launch meeting, and you should be good to go. If you're having some problems downloading the app on your computer, you can also use this option here, which is the join from your browser. You can't participate in all of the polls and things like that, but you still are able to join the rest of the class. And if you're having problems, this might be the best way for you. Once you've clicked on all the links, you do need to join the audio. So on a phone or tablet, you usually have to click a join audio button. On your computer, it's a little bit more complex. Some or most laptops have speakers, but a lot of computers don't. So if you tend to listen to music on your computer, then you know you have speakers, but if not, you might not. So there is this lovely option of test speaker and microphone. I highly recommend that you do it. That way you know ahead of time whether or not you'll be able to talk in the class or not. If you do not have a speaker or mic, you can also just work by phone. So you would use your phone on speakerphone and listen to all of the stuff there, but still watch us on the screen on your computer. So once you're in and you've got some audio, this is how you deal with it. So on the bottom left corner is the turn on and off the mute and on and off the camera. So we would love it if you can keep your video on. It's way more fun for us to talk to faces rather than little black boxes. And then we also will unmute you if you need to talk, or you can mute and unmute yourself. We will need you to go to the participants bar. And on the participants bar, it will show you your name. So if you click on your name, and then click on the more option, and then click on rename, it comes up with this box. And ideally, we would like you to put your name, what company you're from, maybe even a town, just so we know who we're talking to. And it's also easier for us to do attendance. Once you've changed your name, just click OK, and you're good to go. There's also different ways of viewing this. So on your computer, if you go to the top right corner and click on view, it does have some options there. I would recommend either standard, which gives you the presentation and then the faces along the top, or the way I have it here with the presentation and the faces down the side. It doesn't matter, whatever works best for your computer screen. So on a phone, same general idea, only we're tapping it. So you do have the mute and the video on the bottom left corner. These ones you can tell that are on. When they've got the big cross through them, then you can tell that they're off. But same thing as on your computer, you want to find the participants bar. When you're on the participants bar, click on your name, and then there comes up a rename option. And same thing, name, where you're from would be great. Thank you. So there are only two main views because a tablet or a phone are usually smaller. So you get this option here where you can see the presentation and then whoever's talking in the corner. If you do swipe either way, I'm not sure what it is on yours, you can get a gallery view where you can see a lot more people, but you can't see the presentation. So you need to decide what does work for you best. You might go between the two, but it's just flipping side to side. So while you're in your class, we do have a couple things that you can do. We do have some reactions. So if you agree or cheering or whatever, you can click any of these reactions here. When you do click the reaction, the little symbol kind of shows up in the top of your picture so that we can see what you're clapping about. There is also raise your hand. So if you raise your hand, it kind of looks the same. You have the hand up in the corner and it jumps you to the top so that we know that you have a question. So hopefully you did check whether you have a mic and speakers at the beginning, because if you don't, you may have to put all your questions through the chat. It's just something to be aware of. With raising your hand, it does not lower automatically. We will lower it once you ask your question. But if you change your mind and no longer have a question, you can click on your face and lower your hand. It comes up with this nice option. And the other option is to go back down to reactions where you raised your hand, and you can lower it there as well. For the chat, if you don't have a mic, or sometimes you just want to ask questions through the chat as well, you just click on the chat button at the bottom and this big box shows up. So it's kind of like text messaging. You would just send your message down here, and then it keeps a nice history of what was who said what to what and the history of what's going on. So when you're on a phone, same general idea, only you can't see reactions or chat. So you just have to go to the More menu. When you click on the More menu, it comes up like this, and it will show you all of the same reactions that you can do on your computer. Same thing, they come up to the top corner so we can all see. And raise the hand, same thing as well. When you are on a tablet or phone, it's a little bit different. You can go to the participants bar like you did before, click on your name, and there is a lower hand option, or same thing, go to the More menu, find the lower hand there. Chat as well is in the More menu. So you would go down to the More menu again and select Chat. The challenge with the smaller screen with a tablet or your phone is it takes over your entire screen. So it is just something you can't see the presentation at the same time. Not a big deal, but it's just something to be aware of. So same idea, chat or put your message in here and hit the send button, and all of the history does stay there. So you can go back and forth in the conversation. But once you're done in chat, you just have to hit close, which will send you back to the presentation again. So if you have any questions at all or get stuck, if you're having problems, I would just shut down every single window that you possibly have, go back to the email, click on the link again, and you shouldn't have a problem. But if you're having more problems, you're more than welcome to email ithelpdesk@ufcw1518.com, either the morning of, or if you want to, you can do it ahead of time, just to practice if this is your first time with Zoom. But we look forward to meeting you in your class. See you then.